All right, all right. Good morning, guys, on this Monday, July 29th, the middle of the summer, and where most people are just going on holidays. We are just going to focus and like grow harder than everybody who's taking rest. So amazing that you guys are tuning in. Most people think July, August, oh yeah, it's holiday. I'm going on holiday for 2 or 3 weeks and I can't trade and I blah blah. That's no excuse. So yeah, amazing that you guys are here. As usual, what we're going to do is I'll go over the pairs I think are interesting. And of course, we start with Forex Factory because it's fireworks today. Not today. Today is not the only not firework day, but the rest of the week is crazy. It's crazy. So first Forex Factory, then I go over all the pairs I think have something interesting. And after that, you can ask your questions. Don't forget to ask both the pair and the time frame and the question. So after I'm done with my weekly outlook, I can answer your question the best as I can. So with that said, let's dive in. First of all, maybe you see the list is not that big as usual. And that's to do with that many pairs are just in one big expansion. I just want to see some more retracement. So it's going to be a smaller list, but that's I think that's fine to have some more focused. Today, we have a no news Monday. So today, lower volatility. It's weird because I was checking DXY and DXY is moving like a madman already. But that gives nice information for the rest of the week. Tomorrow, we first have Euro, a German CPI. We have JOLTS on Tuesday. We have AUD CPI in the Asian session, and we have JPY rates. So big day already. Then on Wednesday, we have Euro core CPI, USD red folder, CAD GBP. Like there are 3 red folders and then FOMC. So Wednesday, firework. Thursday, GBP rates and 2 USD red folders. And on Friday, we have CHF. Interesting. Thursday, bank holiday. Friday, CPI. Always interesting to see that. And then, of course, Friday, first Friday of the month is NFP. So there's so much to navigate this week. And the reason why the list is smaller, it's just focused on the news. And I think we can navigate it quite clearly. So let's start with DXY. So what we're already seeing now in the current daily candle is a massive expansion upwards. We still are, go to the weekly, we still are in this daily, or the weekly SIBI right here. Let's see what we do here. If we are closing above it, so we're reaching the 104.90s, then probably the next point of interest is going to be this weekly SIBI. So massive displacement already. Taking out last week's high. I'm neutral right now. So what I'm going to do, game plan. We displaced higher, leaving fair value gaps order block. On the 4 hour, on the 1 hour. I'm going to see, do we still respect this counter race? With all the news coming up with JOLTS tomorrow, Wednesday FOMC, and Friday NFP, I can completely ignore a Monday move like this. Why? I know this is probably going to be some form of manipulation. And the market's going to show its hand sooner than later. So I'm going to sit on my hands for DXY for now and wait for at least JOLTS tomorrow. And in the meantime, just checking, like, do we respect this counter race or do we ignore them? If we ignore them, we probably see lower prices. If we are respecting them, you can probably see higher prices. Then AUD NCD, our SMT pair. Going higher, low-hanging fruit for AUD NCD is this weekly SIBI. You see what we did last week? We came back into this weekly BISI, but the body closed all the way up there. So this is a clear route towards low-hanging fruit, these highs. We already took last week's high, but also the July 15 high, and eventually going to this high with strong AUD. We're already on our way. So yeah, anticipating that to reach this week as a weekly target. Euro GBP. I know that this is a markup from the Friday stream, last Friday, before we start the weekend. I'm curious what we're doing here with Euro GBP. We took liquidity, displaced upwards. We disrespected this daily SIBI, indicating we probably can go higher. So my point of interest for now is going to be this area, this daily BISI. What do we do here? If we trade today in this, and then close higher, then I'm ready to take a, like, I don't take many trades on Euro GBP, but I'm willing to take a long trade towards the Monday high and eventually the July high with a stronger euro. And what can push and move like this? Well, that's what I said. The news pairs. Wednesday or Tuesday German prelim CPI. Wednesday core CPI. GBP rates. So Euro GBP is going to move this week. And that's very nice. And it's also very nice when you have arrays like respecting that narrative. So we have news coming up. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Let's see what we do. If we on Tuesday or Monday respect this area, then you can expect Wednesday and Thursday to expand. Because, for example, Thursday rates, GBP, can, like, for example, if GBP is going to say we're going to cut rates, then GBP will be very weak. Euro GBP will just shoot up. And that is very nice aligning with this trade idea. So we'll definitely keep an eye on Euro GBP this week. Then the indices looking very nice, but also very dangerous. I shared this in the Telegram group right before the stream. And like, you know now the news. So we have JOLTS, FOMC, NFP. But for the indices, we also have the earnings. McDonald's, PayPal, BP, like all the Microsoft, Meta, MasterCard, like all the big ones, Amazon, Apple on Thursday. So all the big companies have earnings this week as well. So I think we are gonna have fireworks, low-hanging fruit. Well, it's quite obvious, right? Daily SIBI. So let's see what we do here. During London, we had some displacement lower. It's getting eaten up. Staircases. So my bias for this week is going to be that we're going to do this. And what we could do is stay multiple days inside the fair value gap. And to give you a comparison, let me see. I didn't prepare this one. I was just thinking of this. When was this? I think last July. Yeah. Last July. This is July 2023, so a year ago. We had a similar SIBI, of course, not the same structure. But what we did is, before we moved away, see the dates. It's literally this same week. We stayed for a few days, and NFP, or round NFP, I think this was NFP. Yeah, the NFP was to move up. We stayed in this fair value gap for 4 or 5 days before going lower. I don't say we're going for 4 or 5 days right now, but be open for the idea that we could stay longer than just one tap into the SIBI. But that's just following price. We don't know. So we have the SIBI. We have this order block. We have the breaker here. So could be something something nice for the indices. Well, NQ the same, ES similar, daily SIBI to go lower. Following structure. And that's it for the indices. UK 100. What a move. I mentioned when price, like I've been mentioning this for I think 2 months. I said when price comes to the monthly for value gap, you'll see a big reaction. And look at this. We took all the low resistant liquidity out in like 2 days. Yeah. So now created 2 for value gaps. All-time high is definitely on the cards. I mentioned before, like this was just one big engineering of liquidity. Touch and go. So I'm going to check what price is going to do this week inside. Here we have, of course, Euro and GBP. Of course, GBP rates are the most important for UK 100. So around Thursday, it will be very nice to see some more action. But going to follow it. If we get some retracement, I'm definitely open for a long position towards all-time high. Then let's talk about the USD pairs. For DXY, I already mentioned, we now have a big move up. We have so much news coming up. I'm quite neutral on the direction of DXY. I would say we have room to go higher, and it also aligns with the ideas for the USD pairs. So what we did, we took liquidity here on Euro US dollar. Then we displace lower. Pairs for value gap. 4 touches, displace lower. We have a waiting daily busy for us, and also we have an overlapping weekly busy as drawn liquidity. So knowing this, I'm okay with this move. I'm missing that. That's fine. That's fine. In that move, there are value gaps created. Drawn liquidity for later. But perhaps what you could see this week is price doesn't need to touch it, but it could. Then trade higher, and then make that real move. Something like that. So this is very nice price action because there are lots of premium and discount arrays where price now is going to. So you know, price or going to an old higher low or to a value gap. On the USD pairs right now, Euro USD and GBP USD, we have quite clear arrays. So we can just play between them. So the Monday move has happened right now, and we have a Sunday high. Sunday high, I don't trust, so I think Sunday high is going to be ran somewhere. If it doesn't, this drawn liquidity is overlapping with your 4-hour SIBI. We are bearish order flow, so that means weekly for value gap and daily busy are drawn liquidity. And I think these equal highs from the Sunday high will then be taken later. Then GBP USD took out Friday high, then displays lower. Also for GU, we have a weekly busy coming. We're already in a weekly busy right here. I think we can go deeper. Keep in mind, Euro GBP. Euro is gaining strength, so it would mean lower GBP, weaker GBP. But keep in mind, we have so much news coming up, and that will be the drive for the rest of the month. The rest of August, this week will decide what we're going to do. You don't know if GBP is going to cut rates, raise rates, or stay the same. You don't know. You can predict and then base your trades on that. But I'd rather just wait. So I think Euro US dollar is the more clear one. And let's see what we do from there. Then Euro CAD and GBP CAD. Like we expanded a lot and we don't have much CAD news coming up, but we are close to a high. And when we are close to a high, we already made SFTs at those highs. But I like, for example, Euro CAD. Like I want to see if we can reach this area, and if we now from this point retrace, if we can take a long position towards that high. Buy side liquidity resting up here. So I'm waiting for that. We have an SFT created, but we left all these nice failure swings behind. So I think EuroCAD has some room to go up. If I go to CAD to check if CAD already took out the low. Now CAD is still in that market maker sell model. So I think CAD has one more leg down, and that means one more leg up for the CAD crosses. So I would say we're going to create a low of the week very soon, today or tomorrow, and then shoot up for both EuroCAD and GCAD. That's my buys. Low hang fruit, just the highs here. And it's very nice because the more they go lower right now, the better your potential long position could be. Then I have USD GHF. Very interesting. Why? We have, of course, all the USD news, but we also have GHF news on Friday, CPI. Bank holiday, CPI. So it would be nice that before CPI, we can catch some drawn liquidity or we know some structure. So for example, what I saw on USGF right now, like we had big sell side momentum. My eyes goes directly towards this SIBI. We have clear swings resting under it. And my eyes are now waiting for what we're going to do inside this daily SIBI. If we trade to it, what we're doing right now, and we respect it, we probably will see this low and also this low, the lows here. But if we don't respect it, and we see on today, Monday, also Tuesday, we see that price wants to go higher, disrespecting premium arrays, you can take a very clear long towards the daily SIBI, low-hanging fruit, of course, these relative equal highs. And that resonates as well with a higher DXY idea. So that's also for not today, but later this week, I want to see what we do in this daily SIBI to determine if we can potentially create higher prices. And then this down close candles, these down close candles will just be a big daily order block to go higher from. Then USDJPY. Well, we had such explosive movement from JPY for the last few weeks. The whole month of July has been very bearish for all the JPY crosses. It was time because we were only up for the longest of times. My eyes are now going through this equal lows. Bodies are respecting this for value gap. So I want to see what we do today to maybe tomorrow catch a nice short towards the equal lows. Same setup for Euro JPY. Day for value gap. Bodies are closing lower. That means I would say that we could visit this low. What I see is we already traded to the last line of defense. Means this daily busy. But I'm open for that trade idea. GPJPY, same. Then gold. Very interesting. Very interesting. During the live streams from last week, we were watching this live. So I mentioned last week. Let's do one candle earlier. If you see these kind of price actions and you see we are in an upwards movement with displacement lower, you want to see if a premium array gets respected. So I mentioned on the stream, just wait how the candle closes inside this value gap, and that gives you all the information you need for the rest of the week. And this candle gives you that information. We trade into a premium array, bodies are closing lower. It means the next candles are probably going for these two lows. And they did. Then on Friday, with a big move higher, creating a value gap. And today, right now, we have touched that value gap and are now potentially closing lower. Of course, day is not over. We still have the whole New York session we need to go through. If you now trade lower, then my bias for the low-hanging fruit for this week is going to be these red equal lows, all this sell side liquidity down here. I'll definitely be open for a nice short. Also, we touched on this 4-hour for value gap, then a 1 hour, or potentially during the live stream, taking a short from this 1 hour for value gap. But I think the best trade is going to be tomorrow because price can just push up and then the daily for value gap. This candle can still be green if price intends to just move up for a few points. So I'm going to monitor this during the live stream later today. Silver, way more bearish than gold. We just touched this weekly busy. I'm expecting a little more higher prices short term. But of course, we keep that bearish momentum. So I want to see what we do in this daily SIBI. If we're very bearish, we'll just touch it and go lower and lower towards the lows here. But gold has my attention right now. So for today already, I think the indices are going to be very nice towards the daily SIBI. I think gold is going to be very nice to see how we close here. And the rest of the pairs, we still need to wait for a little bit longer. Then Bitcoin. Insane. We had this massive movement downwards last week. And everyone thought, okay, we're going back to the lows. But no. Overnight, like, strange enough, the weekends for Bitcoin are quite strong. And today we already pushed up. We're almost at 70K. Well, we still have the silver swings. So that would be low-hanging fruit. That would mean if, like, it's in a weekly, I think the weekly, yeah, we're not going back to this. I don't believe that, to 63. That's too deep. And we have all these down close candles that should support price higher. I am open for the idea of a wick in this daily busy. But we have this order block resting in the down close candle to push price higher. So my bias is higher for this week. I want to see, do we create a new fair value gap in the coming 2 days? And potentially take a long trade from there. Same for Ethereum. Came back from the lows. Let's see if we respect this or disrespect this daily SIBI to then go higher from. We can use this as an inversion fair value gap to trade higher from. And as well, like, we have so much liquidity resting on the tops of both Bitcoin and Ethereum. So I think it's a matter of time before they explode. All right. That's it. Quick weekly outlook. It helps when you don't have 30 pairs on your watch list. Like, sometimes it's just a whole list, and now it's just a little cleaner. And that's everything to do with the news. Lots of USD news. That's just waiting for me. AUD, CPI. The reason I don't have any AUD pairs on my outlook has to do with this. Big expansion, both for Euro and GBP AUD. I want to see more. Maybe I'm going to add them later to the list this week. If I see more displacement lower, we can have a market maker sell model with the S&T at the highs here. So you see the high here from March. And here you have the high from March. Big S&T. So a short for Euro AUD could be on the cards, but that's only when CPI pushes price lower, creating a new fair value gap. So that would be later in a week. So USD news is leading this week with some Euro and GBP news. GHF CPI end of the week, but for now it's just waiting for JOLTS tomorrow. JPY rates. This would also be a very funny one. Like, JPY rates potentially can just push price even lower again. But that's just a waiting game. Like, you know, from the mentorship, the 2024 mentorship, how I trade before the big 3. So I don't trade the day before CPI. I don't trade the day before NFP. And it also means for, of course, the other pairs. Like, I'm not going to trade the day before the rate announcement. I'm not going to trade the day before CPI on AUD. I'm going to trade the day before FOMC on the USD pairs. And that same applies for every single currency. And don't get me wrong, you can make money with this, but just higher risk of losing. If there's a clear draw on liquidity, you can take the trade, of course, but use a big stop loss because the wicks can be quite explosive. All right. Any questions? What's my average RR monthly? I think, how can I say this most politely? Asking about RR is a metric that is not very trustworthy. And why? Little example. Let's say I only shoot 1 to 100 RRs. That's mean my win rate would probably be something like 1 or 2%. But I can say to you, yeah, I have a average monthly RR of 400. Because I can have months that have like multiple hundreds RR. And so I wouldn't ask that question to a trader to see if he's good or bad. I would say if you would test someone, if it's a good trader, I would base them off payouts and consistency. Like how long are you trading consistently? Um, Currently in a 6 losing streak, 3 times. Mata, you can ask this question again during the live stream. The weekly outlook is purely for, do you have a question on the pairs discussed? And during the streams, you can ask that question. What's my thought on NTD cat? I've looked at it. And where is it? So look at this on a weekly, or maybe the monthly. We can even see this. The monthly is hyper bearish in a consolidation, zooming out. But we probably will go for the lows. If you have a hyper bearish bias, where do you want to trade lower from? Well, from premium race. We need to wait. We need to wait a week for this weekly SIBI to be created, and on the daily, the first value gap you encounter is all the way up here. So I am, I've accepted that I possibly have missed this move, and I'm going to be back into the move when we take these lows. Because when I now, for example, now see, okay, I want to take a trade right now to the lows. Let's say that's right here. Let's say these are lows. These are lows. $200. That's of course a lot for a forex pair. But that's the question: where's your stop loss? Is it here? Is it here? Is it here? I'm open for the idea for price to just retrace towards the premium array before going lower. So the risk to reward doesn't make sense in such a big range. That's the reason I'm like, of course, I like this kind of displacement because it's like high probability that we're going lower. But you need always to ask the question, where are we going lower from? And if that array is not visible yet, you don't trade it. Or I don't trade it. And I wouldn't recommend you chasing price. Let me know if that answers your question. Any other pairs you guys would like to discuss? All right, and if there are no questions, what we're going to do, as usual, we're going to take a small break and we're going to continue at 9 a.m. EST. That's in 29 minutes from now. And we have some very juicy session coming up. I think NQ is going to be very nice. I think gold can be very nice. So and let's see what DXY is going to do as well during the open. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please like, subscribe, leave a comment if you have to leave your thoughts, and I'll see you guys at 9 a.m. EST. See you in 29 minutes. Bye bye.